call the meeting to order at 6:04 p.m. Next is the roll call. Excused are Sage and who else?
Yep. Sage.
And somebody else.
Jenny and
Jenny Rabolino.
And who else? And that's it?
Rhonda.
And Rhonda. That's right. Our new commissioner, Rhonda, is not here yet. Okay, so Teresa Baxter, Iris Hannon. Here. Susan Jaggers. Here. Michelle Jones.
Yeah, here.
Danielle.
Ooh, we don't have the Zoom
Yeah,
going.
Where's
Probably.
On it.
Okay.
Keep going.
Eve Lacey.
Here.
Randy.
Here.
Randy Long, our new commissioner. Jennifer Miller. And Jenny is not here, right? And Scott. Scott
Not here.
Okay. Okay. And also present are Angela Brill, our
Hello.
AIPP administrator, and Britt McWilliams, AIPP assistant. Okay, is there any public invited to be heard that would like to say anything? I don't think so. Okay. Are there any corrections to the June 19th minutes?
Thank you for those of you who sent me corrections. They have been corrected, so now it's as presented tonight. So unless you see something in addition.
Okay, with no corrections, do we have a motion to approve the minutes as they have been amended?
I move that we approve the minutes as they are amended.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, that was Eve.
And Iris.
Iris, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. All right, everyone in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so unanimous.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have the new term of commissioners, and we certainly continue to thank our commissioners who have been outgoing, and welcome back Randy Long, who was the chair of AIPP only a few years ago, and is now back. Which we're so, this is how much fun we have, she's back. So, and Randy, could you tell us a little about yourself and why you are serving AIPP?
I'm Randy Long. I was on AIPP for 7.5 years, I think.
Sounds about right.
I was vice chair for a while and then took the chair role for about 3 years. It was really awesome. I live in Longmont, obviously. I've been in Longmont since 2010. I'm originally from Miami, Florida, where I grew up. I lived in Highlands Ranch for a couple years, went to Atlanta for a couple years, and then came back to here to Longmont, and this is where I stay. I have 2 adult children.
Sorry. Now we have extra. Okay.
I'm used to that. I hate that. I have 2 adult children, Megan, who went to Silver Creek, and Brandon, who also went to Silver Creek High School. I'm divorced.
Big news.
I enjoy being on this commission because it's creative and I get to be creative other than my regular full-time job, which is I work for a camping product company. I love being a part of the community. I do the music walkabout. I bounce for that when that comes around. I do the art walk stuff. I just love Longmont. I feel such a part of the city, and I want to tell everyone how great it is. And I think this is probably the funnest and best commission to be on because people can see art that we put in places all over the city. So glad to be back.
Okay, welcome back. Thank you.
And can I just put a plug in? So during your interview, we had said, how do you feel like that Art in Public Places commissioners are ambassadors for public art? And you had mentioned some of the things that you've been doing just on your own related to public art since you've been off the commission. Can you tell us a little bit about your bike tours? Or just, I know it's kind of grassroots kind of thing, but still.
So yeah, anybody I meet or new friends, my boyfriend, I take them around the city and show them all the art that we've put in place, and, you know, Ursa Minor, the bear that was in hibernation for, is now out of hibernation. So it just makes me feel good to share all that with everybody. And shock art, you know, I'm a big proponent of that, although I missed voting this June. I don't know
It's
how
your
that
fault,
happened.
not ours.
I know it's my fault.
It was very accessible.
I have a group that I'm a part of that we meet once a month, and at the end of the meeting, the leader will say any comments or news from the group, so I'll always stand up and say, vote for shock art, or Art Move is here, or whatever. So, yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful ambassador, thank you. Okay, we also have a new commissioner, Rhonda Beaupre, who was unable to attend our meeting tonight, and she served on the selection panel for the Fox Meadows piece, and she will be here next month. But it's so great that we have two people who are experienced and familiar with AIPP, so we've got a great new group without a huge learning curve, we hope, although we're all still learning, of course.
Always.
Okay, so the next item is about shock art.
Nope, you can just do number 5 real quick,
Oh,
just for the record.
what?
Additions or corrections
Oh.
to the agenda.
Oh, are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I have none. Does anybody else have
Does
any?
anybody else have anything?
There you go.
There's always
Thank
time
you.
to make comments, announce things, and so forth at the end of the meeting, where we have commissioner comments, and everyone is welcome to participate then, of course. Okay, shock art. Okay,
So we had a
here's
lot of. Let's see if we can load it.
Oh, wow.
There we go. I didn't put them in it. They're not in any order.
How many boxes were?
We did. Oh.
So we had,
We did 7 this year.
How many were entered?
How many were entered? Yeah. We was a little slight this year, actually.
we had 792 votes, and the voting was in 2 locations, at the museum and at the Old Town Marketplace.
And here. It was in 3
And
locations.
here, that's right, and at the museum.
Yep. So on the left is Funny Farm, and that's Carl Reeder. He is local, and he has a piece that is out by Costco on, I'm gonna mess this up, Zlatan?
Yes,
Zlatan?
yes.
It's very Colorado with the trout. His painting style, it's immaculate. Like, it's kind of next level. The only thing that's driving me nuts is that the goat's crazy eyeballs don't have rectangular pupils. So,
Oh, yeah.
it's okay. He's wearing glasses, and they're not goat glasses. They're human glasses. That's what the problem. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
I know, right? That's
It's super
the detail. Aiden Mann, who did the lavender piece. It's called Herons, and then Sydney, I can't pronounce her last name, did this. I kind of think it's like this Art Nouveau looking, different stained glassy looking thing. And then Annie Wilson did banjos on the end. So Carl on the left, we have one of his pieces. Those 3 they've never participated before, so that's fantastic.
Great.
And then I'm gonna mess this up too. Wei Mnki, it's a artist name, W3YMNKY, however you want to pronounce that. From Aurora is doing the piece on the left. Mackenzie Foote, local, the frog in the middle, and then Catherine McGrath from Meade. That was your commissioner's choice, Broncos and Butterflies. And actually, that one I think is going to be located 17th between Collier and Atwood. And it's like kind of really close to somebody's residential property. So I think I'm going to go and just knock on the door and say, just an FYI, we're painting this one, and are you a Bronco fan? I mean, chances are probably pretty good. So those are your 7. Everyone has accepted. Everyone has their contracts. We have one naughty little artist who messed up their W-9 and is working through the process, but everyone has agreed to come to training next week, so all in full speed ahead.
Awesome.
So we're in good shape. Priming is going to happen. Again, there's just 2 locations that aren't completely nailed down yet. One of them's on Hover and the backside. I just don't see how it's possible to paint it, but it really needs painted. And LPC says, so anyway, when Britt and I were looking online, just from the Googles, it's right next to a bus stop and it's pretty trashy. And if an artist were given that, they might not be super excited about that. So LPC and I are negotiating. And he said he would paint it green again. It's just, it really needs painted. So, unfortunately, there's really not any of these that, like, they all have engaging sides. There's not one that's like, oh, if that backside wasn't seen, it wouldn't matter.
Right.
They're all pretty good in the round. So, anyway, so yeah, full speed ahead, like for real.
Which one?
Great, beautiful.
Yeah.
Which one was the commissioner's choice?
The Broncos and butterflies, that kind
okay.
of stencil-y one on
Yeah. Okay.
on the right, yeah. But there were really dynamic selections this year. A lot of new artists, like we had mentioned last time, so that's great.
And all the maquettes were in good shape, I thought.
Most.
Most of them were pretty good.
Yeah. But I think if we do have that social hour of kind of the more experienced artists and allowing some of the up and coming artists maybe to socialize, maybe they could meet somebody, and if they have questions about creating maquette or other, some of that professional development stuff, we can work on that. Yep. So good choices. What does this get us up to? Boy, we're really getting close. I think this will put us past 90. I'm looking at you like trying to read.
I'm just gonna nod at you.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll hit 100 next year or the year after, but we're getting real close. So it's very exciting. Kind of, not that we're running out of spots, but you know, it's just the main drags that have all of them. There's not very many pad mount switches in residential or off street, so that opportunity of kind of putting a new one in all over the city is gonna come to a halt pretty quick. We'll end up doing a lot in the south because that's where all the new ones are. But in the meantime, we'll keep trying to spread them out. Yeah.
So
Yep.
Angela, you mentioned pad mount.
Yes.
Can't say as I spend a lot of time thinking about this or looking at these.
Sure.
So, is it that the majority are not pad mount, and therefore, if you were to look around town, is that?
Yes. So
Okay.
there's all kinds of utility boxes throughout town.
Okay.
And the biggest difference, so I often, pretty regularly actually, get someone who says, I have this box and it's in my yard and it's ugly green or gray and my kid is a great painter, we want to paint it. And LPC the answer is absolutely not. And the reason, when one of these pad mount switches, they're, when you see them around town, they really do look very much like a cube. And that's how you know. And in each of them is 2 or 3 switches. So they're pad mount switches. And when one of those switches, kind of like a breaker in your house, and Kevin would be chastising me right now if LPC was in right here, how I'm explaining it, but this is how I understand it. When one of those blows, like in your house, and you're all of a sudden you blow the breaker for your refrigerator, like you know it because it's a big one. Same with these. One of those switches blows, the block goes out. Like it's a massive, massive outage. And so it wouldn't matter where in the city, like though the LPC guys know exactly where they're going to fix it. So it doesn't matter that they're painted because they know exactly where they're going.
Right.
Unlike your residential box that might affect your house or maybe a couple neighbors or something like that, those they're using, of course, devices, but they're looking for a specific box and they're much smaller.
Okay.
And so those can't be painted because they would probably miss them, or in the night they might not see them. So there's a reason that they look that ugly gray and green is they have to be. So this is the exception to the rule. And they end up staying in our collection pretty much for forever until a box gets damaged or hit by a car, or sometimes there's warranty issues and the cabinet needs to be replaced. At that time, the mural goes out of the collection and the location goes back in. We let the artist know, hey, it's unfortunate, but your mural has been moved on. But it really doesn't happen all that often. There are a couple of boxes that are in the collection that for some reason in time, we weren't graffiti sealing them, or the artist was responsible for graffiti sealing and they said they did and they actually didn't. And they're starting to fade and get kind of icky and ugly. We as a commission haven't talked about that per se. So, but it's out there, right? And so it does beg the question about painting over and starting over if something gets to super ugly. So as you're driving around, if you see one, I saw one today, I was like, oh, that's not super. Maybe it's something we need to address.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I know that was way more than you asked.
But they do last quite a long time, and
Yeah.
the LPC seals them,
So
so.
we seal them.
Oh, someone seals
We
them.
seal them, yeah.
So they're very, they're there for the long term. I've lived in Longmont almost 10 years, and the ones that were here when I got here still look good.
Yeah.
So.
At some point when the VOC regulations changed, the, let's call it formula of the sealant also changed, and now it seems that they tend to collect dust more than others. The red one over by Shoes and Brews and Pratt, it always looks dirty, and that artist just does not love that it looks dirty. It also is along, like, there's a dirt path there and things along those lines, so but it's the nature of the beast. Like, it's public art. It gets dirty.
So these are not on our maintenance report, our general assignment of maintenance report, but if you ever see one that's gotten graffitied or has a wasp nest or any other thing that causes you a concern, then please call Angela or text her and let her know.
Yeah. Any questions? Yeah.
Have locations been picked for all of them?
Yes. Except the two that we're negotiating.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're pretty much all over town, which is great.
These are very charming. I think that's going to be good additions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very different. They're all very different.
The greatest thing about this program is that it's good for entry-level artists who've never done a public art project before, and anybody can apply for them. And there's no particular theme or requirement, so they're all really different. And that part I like.
Yeah.
It's fun because some cities have, like, all cowboys, and they have all Western, like I think it's around Fort Worth, where they all have the same theme. But this is like mix, propose something and let's see how we like it.
Yeah. Yeah, we had good community participation this year. So. Cool.
Okay, good deal. Okay, so the painting should be starting either late this month or in August. So that's coming up really soon, and all the contracts are in, right?
We're working on it.
We're working on it. Okay. Is there any further discussion or questions about the shop boxes? Okay. The next item is about the Van Gogh, which is the vinyl wrap of our van, our art moving truck van vehicle.
I don't have pictures, but that's okay.
Okay, a couple months ago we chose a vinyl wrap and sort of an op art design and now the outline that the artist proposed is
It's looking good.
getting transferred onto what will actually work on the van.
Yeah, the images weren't big enough, so we had to hand it off as original art. So we actually have it at the museum and got bigger. And Fleet's vinyl people are officially not talking to us anymore. I swear I didn't do anything. So we're gonna see about the History Under Wraps vinyl company, because they've actually been helpful with what image size they need. That was gonna come to the right resolution. So
They've been wonderful.
Yeah. Brit's all over it. So, needless to say, we have art, we have images, we're getting there.
We have a van.
We have a van, we have all the pieces and the parts.
Framing it together.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why the local company doesn't want to work with me.
Well, who knows?
Don't know why.
Could have nothing to do with you.
Could.
Could.
The money's green, man. But, yep.
Okay, all right.
Quick question.
Oh, yes.
What's,
I
this
know.
was-
See,
This was,
we haven't had orientation yet. Forgive me.
yeah, it
Okay.
was started talking about it anyway when I was on the
Yeah.
commission, so
Well,
was
oh, so that's funny. When did you leave?
was it a year and a half or 2 years?
That's when we purchased the van.
Yeah.
We just got it. When did we get it? November?
Yeah.
It was back ordered for years,
Oh my gosh.
years. So yeah, we finally got the van, and then we put the call out and made the decision on the van, and we have the vans. I'm in the wrong place.
No, that was it.
I can't do two things at once.
That was it.
No, it's gonna be here. When did we decide?
Yeah.
Van
pick.
Oh, Ange. I moved the images. The server doesn't like
What about
it.
the pick? Van pick.
That's the picture
Oh,
of
the
said
van.
van. You want to see a white van? That's it. Wow.
Here we go.
Cool.
So
This
we're
was
in
one.
this zone
That's the one.
Okay.
with the hood treated as well.
Cool.
So this is the artwork that we have that's
That's
now
very cool.
at a ratio that's appropriate. And we are gonna do full wrap, not partial wrap. We had spec'd out a partial wrap, but, yeah, so that's underway. And the big question still is what the communications team, like this one has the Longmont Museum logo thing. So that's what we gotta work on, is figuring out how the branding aspect is gonna work, if it's applied on top or if it's part of the image, if it still has to go here or if it can go maybe on the back or something. But we don't really know until we have the vinyl company assure us that the size of the images are correct and then hand them off to the comms team to get their opinions. Yep. Pretty cool though.
Very cool.
Yeah. Good question.
Okay, any other questions or comments on the van and its wrap?
And it's
Okay. Okay, history under wraps. Do you want to address this, Britt?
It is off to production. We've been
Okay.
a little back and forth the last couple of days, but I think half of them are pretty much done, and the rest are underway. So hopefully next week they'll be installing them.
How many
How many again?
11 total.
Oh, how many are up
so
now?
exciting.
Oh, none are up. They've been sent off to the printer, so they're
The other
producing
ones,
them.
I think there's
and then-
6 of the current ones.
Oh, the current.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah, because I see,
Okay,
I see
of
like
the
3
ones
of them.
already done.
Yep.
One over here, and there's one
Right,
And
airport, and
Yes.
right. But now we're adding 11 more.
Cool, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool. And they're all quite amusing, of course.
And we also have a tour. We have tour content that goes along with it. So, oh, look at that. Discover a Public Art Tour in English. And so if you want, you can go to the History Under Wraps tour. So once they're up, we'll then add the QR code onto it. And I know there's a couple of folks around an opportunity to write some copy. Do you know why it's not populating? Oh, because you have to scroll. So the image, and then where and by whom it was taken, and then just a little blurb. Sometimes it's related to the image directly if we know about what the image is specifically, and if we don't, then it's a little quip about Longmont history. The goal of the project is to really solidify and connect art and public places with the museum. And so all of these are from the museum collection. Yeah. So there's these 6, and then there's 11 more coming.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Britt worked very, very hard to get these where it was going to be. And the reason we chose 11 was because we were fairly certain that one of those images from the 1800s wasn't going to work out. But Britt was able to master and work that image, so its resolution is completely fine and will look great. So
Okay.
we get all 11 rather than 10. I know, famous last words, right? But
Okay.
that's how it's supposed to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll let you know when that happens and is up. All right,
So
haven't
if-
seen Danielle.
If members of the task force are available to stay after the meeting, there'll be some copy to write about the tour stops, about just illuminating the background on the photos. And
I don't know how many of us there are left, yeah. But I brought Eric's book, so if somebody wants to, and I even started myself, and I was like, stop, Angela, stop. So, yeah, we can start doing some research and come up with what we want the copy to be for those tour stops.
Okay, so if we don't have the task force here, then you'll be, or if you're interested in serving on that task force.
No, we have the task forces already done, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah, that's
at
right.
least
Okay,
3 of
never
us.
mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on the History Under Wraps project?
Look at all these, we're just like knocking them off.
We are. Okay,
good.
next item is the glass etched piece at the museum called Hidden Paths, Unseen Trails. That had an update today.
So, a couple of you have heard me lamenting about this whole project, but so I thought when we were here last time that I would just kind of tell you a start to finish, because it's very easy to say, we have a piece of public art at the museum, we know we need to move it, so we need to deinstall it and store it, and then we'll reinstall it. And that sounds really easy. So just to give you an idea, when the funding for the museum was fairly solidified and it looked like we were going forward, I went to bid out 2 things. First and foremost, a company who would be able to remove the piece and insure it while they were removing it. And also a company that would create a custom crate for it and insure it while they were packing the crate, moving the crate, and getting the crate to storage. So through all of that, I got my bids, and then after I got my bids, I was required to put a report together to justify the cost of the piece. We could have had an appraisal, but being a subject matter expert, I put the report together myself, and the underwriters were like, yep, that makes sense. So we insured it for $100,000 and chose the company who was going to do the work, and then just waited until the time was right when we could deinstall it, which was as soon as the museum closed. You might remember that the museum expanded their Picasso exhibition until the 26th, so things scoot out a little bit. So everything was fine and dandy, and then the day came when we were starting to schedule it, and I asked for, we need the certificate of insurance, and we ran into a little snafu. So right before I went on vacation, we were working on getting in hand the insurance piece of it. So it's not just, it doesn't just do itself, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, we got what we needed, and as of 2 days ago, we had the company come and remove the said piece. So here we go. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
So the cabinetry is built into the wall, which we knew. And then there's these little cabinets which the fluorescent lights were underneath. And then there was this molding that all went all the way around. But what we didn't know, because of the lack of documentation from when it was installed, was how it was installed. So the company came in, and what they ended up doing was taking out little portions of the molding and then cutting it, not the full length of the panels. There's 5 panels. And then leaving a portion of the molding to hold the rest of it in, and then to remove it. So I had to guess what the depth of the glass was, and of course I knew generally the width and the height, but I had to guess, and so I guessed 3/8 inch single pane, and they're 1/4 inch double pane. So I guessed that each one weighed about 120 pounds. I submitted 150 pounds. They're about 220 each. So it was great though. They were super professional. Let me know, obviously the mistake, and then we really examined the pieces. I took a ton of images, so I understand now how the pieces put together and documented all of that. The first one, so Britt got the whole thing on time lapse, which was really great, but they use those like suction cups, and we're kind of like tugging on it, and it looked like it was flexing, and I thought I was gonna lose it, but then it kind of made this noise, like pop noise, and then it just came out, and after that it was completely smooth sailing. So it was great. It ended up being really great. Actually, let me just, Angela. So then how do I go back?
Is that the crate in the lower left hand?
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can maybe you can show some more of it. Okay, here. Just do the things.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh my goodness. Those guys work fast.
Yeah. But they were very cautious in understanding what they were doing. So that putty knife, just to hold 1 and 2 away from each other, and there was no silicone. That was the pop. And then so then we know what we're doing, and did that 5 different times, right? So so then let's see if I have pictures of them stored. I don't think so then they're stored on pallets on insulation foam. The etched side is down, and then the smooth side obviously is up, because you don't want to suction on the etching, and they're double paned and laminated, so it's very similar to your windshield. So if it was to break, it would shatter, but it wouldn't like explode, but that adds weight, so good to know. So removal went really smoothly, couple of hours, wasn't even as long as I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good. Once they got the first one out and they knew what they were doing, then it went really smoothly. So here's the crates, and the crate is crates because we bid out for the weight, and it was going to be 1, but because they were double pane, then we ended up twice the price, twice the panes, twice the price, twice the crates. But that's why you do a contingency, right? So 2 pieces in 1 crate and 3 in the other, and so it's a layer of foam, then the glass within the plastic, and then a layer of foam, and then the whole thing tips up. That's the bill. And they put these like A-frames onto the crates, so then, you know, they're not top heavy or they don't tip over. So the total weight is 800 and change. One of them weighs about 550 and the other one is like about 350.
I'm impressed with how well they did.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Yeah, I've never seen
Very
this
impressed.
before. I've always seen like little kickstands, like little ones. I've never seen this construction before.
Really
So,
impressed.
yep, so they're all buttoned up and there they are at the museum storage space.
Look at the cool money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
It's gonna go in the children's gallery, so.
Oh, it is?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so all in all, and at the end of the day, all of that work just to really get it to a place where it was safe and it worked out. And we're still under budget, so,
Yeah, nice.
yeah, but it takes a lot of prep and plan
Yeah.
before we can just really
Oh, yeah.
get to those moments where it cooks.
So is that out of our budget or the museum renovation
No,
budget?
it's us.
That's our
Oh,
budget. We have to, oh,
Yep. So relocation, any relocation, it falls on us. Basically, it's kind of like maintenance.
right.
The cabinetry, on the other hand, on the other end, the cabinetry is being rebuilt in the museum construction budget, which makes sense.
But we will pay to have it reinstalled.
That's correct.
So it is going back.
It is
Into
going
another
back.
place.
So it's going back, and it's not going back in the same place. It is going. So here's the new museum rendering,
Nice.
which I'm sure has been even updated since. But at present, when you come to the roundabout, this is the door right here near this guy's tail. But now it's going to be, this is the entryway here, and these are the new galleries. Okay, so that like comes out. So here's your roundabout. Here's where the door used to be. And now this is the doorway, and these windows here are to the gift shop. So you come in this door, and here's your desk that you're gonna have to buy your tickets and such. And then when you go to drop off and go to the bathroom and stuff before you go to the museum and go through the double doors into the museum, that's this. The piece is right here. So similar, except the best part is it doesn't have external on the other side.
Oh, right.
So
Lots
it
of
won't
light
be
that comes
reflect-
in and whatever.
So
Like
it'll
big
be much
windows.
more, yeah, it'll have a much more
Nice.
dimensional feel because
Very
it'll
nice.
be lit with LED lighting.
Awesome.
And it won't have reflection. Obviously, it does here because this is an image of the work in real life applied to a rendering, right? But it won't have all of that reflection.
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be in a really prime location, straight when you walk in. It'll be right there, super visible.
That's cool.
Yeah. So all's well that ends well on that front, but I do think for location-wise, it's the best. So
What's the time frame?
18 months. So fall of 26, the museum should open.
When did you say?
We know
fall
what
of
happens.
26?
Fall of 26.
So it's closed completely until then?
So the galleries are closed, so there's no exhibitions, either history or traveling or anything along those lines. Stewart Auditorium, of course, is open. Programs are all still going. Classrooms, kiddo
Camps,
classrooms,
all that.
camp.
Yeah,
We're a
concerts.
full camp. Concert, all the free concerts are still happening. But entry into the museum is not so much fun. You have to park at the rec center presently and come in this door into the atrium. So you kind of have to hoof it a little bit. I understand that the parking lot will reopen late August, maybe September, but this will remain the entrance for the entire 18 months. Yeah, and then they'll board up. So if you can imagine where Stewart is and going through the atrium towards where the desk used to be, all of that will just be boarded up, and the gallery hallway will all be boarded up. So you'll still be able to go down the hall to the education wing. You'll still be able to get to the restrooms and to the courtyard, but that whole other north and west, all this will be unavailable.
And that's why we're meeting here instead of there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So just as an aside, one of the things, having followed this over its time of renovation of the museum, one of the things where the entrance is now, when shutdown and pandemic happened, that's when we all realized how narrow those doorways were. There really was very difficult for people to space themselves out. The other thing is because the doorway and the main door and the sidewalk outside the atrium face the north, it was often icy and did not melt.
Yeah.
So those were two major things that we all felt like didn't quite work, and I'm excited to see. I think a new entranceway is going to give the museum a better profile, and kind of create more excitement as you come in, and of course more galleries we can use. Really, everything is going to be fabulous. It's just we have to be patient now, sort of. Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay, so
So that's Hidden Paths.
any other questions or comments on Hidden Paths and its removal and removal?
Cool,
Okay.
huh?
Okay, next is the Lanyon Park Community Painted Mural Backdrop, which is coming up in August. So this is one of our next big project that we're all invited to participate in.
Yeah, I don't have an image, but Brett's been working on coming up with an image. The panels are going to be, I should have thrown well, everybody can imagine what a backstop of a baseball field looks like, right? They're just chain link fence. So we're gonna do 4 feet high by 8 foot long panels times 2. So the whole thing will be 16 feet long. And we're going to start by painting August 9th in Lanyon Park from 9 till noon. So you'll all get a sign up. And if you are available to be there, that would be helpful. There'll be a setup opportunity, helping people paint, and then tear down and clean up shifts. The other things about the shifts, for those of you who have done this before, cleaning brushes, I think, was one of the things that if we kept up on it, we were in good shape, right?
Yeah.
So it's just that kind of bit, and we thought about how many days and participation, and we decided that the 1 day is really good because the museum's actually doing quite a bit in Lanyon Park, and then whatever doesn't get done then will become our art walk paint project. So we'll finish it at art walk, and then we'll go and reinstall right before the fall gets going over there. So that's the plan, and you'll see sign up coming out.
So if anybody hasn't participated in Art Walk before, Main Street is closed down and there's all kinds of activities up and down the street. And we have a booth and we'll have those panels there and people are invited to help paint. It's fun. And that'll be on September 13th.
This is going to see that.
Oh, yeah.
September 13th.
Yep.
Yeah.
All kinds of dates.
Okay, any further questions on Lanyon Park painted mural backstop? Okay.
All
I
right.
plan on being there. Do you
Okay.
want me to sign up?
You
or-
should just come.
I should just come. Okay, I wasn't sure.
I
how that-
imagine you'll probably be schmoozing, and I don't want to put you on if you can help clean brushes, that would be
Yeah, I
great.
could.
But if you're talking with kids and
Yeah.
families
Okay.
from, we also did speak, I think it was Michelle, who said we will have we'll hire an interpreter as
Okay,
well.
yes, good.
So,
But just in case.
mhm,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So hopefully, and then the comms team is doing the mailer. We were going to do door-to-door hangers, but the comms team preferred doing a mailer with everything that the museum, and in fact some of what Parks is doing as well, and they're paying for it. So, okay. And we don't have to do door-to-door, and I said, I think everybody will be okay with that as well. So, so we should be getting some traction. Oh, and it's in the museum newsletter. Where else? It's
It'll be on the socials.
yeah, the marketing team's really pushing.
Okay, good.
Because this came from the top, so we're doing everything we can.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Council comments from Susie.
Hi, Susie.
Hey, hi, just in time, yes. It was go, go, go since 11 a.m. So we've had, I'm trying to think, we are in the middle of working with the airport on possible landing fees. So the city's looking at vendors. It's been a little challenging with that regard, but it will be coming back to us on a council agenda item, flight paths, landing fees, and there was one more. Oh, the electric. So you having we have the fueling station at the airport, but also an option to have electric, so to entice electric charging stations for
Planes? That's
for planes.
cool, yeah.
They're very
Wow.
quiet, is what I've heard.
I love
Yes,
that.
so
Wow.
so moving towards our zero emissions.
So exciting.
Wow.
So
That's
currently, there's no landing fees?
There's no landing fees.
And so the city just said, why aren't we getting money for that?
Yeah, well, and so for some of us, and I can speak for myself, as I look at what's happening at the federal level. So the airport is basically operated off of FAA grant funding.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, especially as we look down the pike of what's being added to grants, so future grants.
Right.
I'm not really in agreement with what's being proposed, that,
Right.
city cooperation with ICE or dismantling DEI. And I'm thinking, okay, equity work is putting up ramps so people in wheelchairs can access. So, so when I don't think they fully understand what equity means,
Yeah.
but it does, it's a slippery slope, and I feel like, okay, we need to find ways that we can support the airport and fund the airport without having to depend on federal grants. So that's kind of my feeling towards that. I know different council members have different rationale, but, so that'll be coming to us in the next few months. Something else, I know that there's been a lot of talk in the newspaper, different opinion pieces around the distal toll land swap.
Yeah.
And so the rationale behind even doing a land swap, and both of those properties, we own them, they were leased by Wholesome Gravel, they do gravel mining. The distal property is being mined, where they just wrapped up that mining operation. So it's not, if you go out there, it's a gravel mining spot. It's not open space or pristine land. The rationale was looking for cost effectiveness between which of the two would cost us least to build a composting facility on, and it was the distal property would cost the city least, and the toll property would allow us to we'd have the open space area there, and then water storage. So in looking at, and I think for us too, it was looking at Boulder County's commitment. We couldn't afford to keep it at the toll space, which is public, it's owned by Public Works. We couldn't afford to build a composting without Boulder County's support, financial. So we were thinking, okay, well, there's some contractual things that are happening with Wholesome anyways. There's a possibility we could just not do the land swap. So currently it's put on hold. I think it's supposed to come back to us next Tuesday. What I'm hearing is it's going to be put on hold right now as they work out their negotiations. There's a possibility Wholesome might just be done with us. And then if that's the case, then we can just keep open space, and public workspace. And so that's coming down as well. And yeah, I'm trying to think. Do you all have any questions for me as far as anything coming up or questions?
So these signs that we've seen around town that say,
Yes.
keep public lands accessible or something like that?
Yeah, from development.
Keep open
Yeah.
space open.
Keep open space open.
Yes.
So that's
So
the one-
that, the distal property was purchased with open space dollar. But there was, and then the toll property, which is it's just east of Distal property, was purchased with open space dollar. So they're both city-owned. But we were looking at what was cost-effective for the city as a whole. And looking at, well, this Distal property, it's not, it's being used for gravel mining. So if you go out there, it's all looks industrial. And the other thing is that Distal also had infrastructure with water, access to water and sewage, whereas Tull did not. So if we built a composting facility at Distal, the infrastructure is already in there because of the gravel mining operation that was going on there. It's not at Tull, so then we'd have to build all that stuff in there if we do a composting facility on that public works side.
And that's big bucks.
That is big bucks.
That's big bucks.
So we were trying to look at the whole picture, and I understand the rationale. I've heard, and I worry about this too. We don't know who would be on council next. Let's say there's someone who doesn't value open space and says, well, they've already set the precedence for swapping out land. Let's swap out this open space land for housing or for other, or for economic development. So it does kind of take us in paths that maybe we don't want to go. And so I think as we move forward, we might kind of just try to keep things as they were. And if we can get an MOU, I want an MOU from the county. So if the county says, okay, we're going to put this money in, then they can pay for that infrastructure and the composting stuff, and it doesn't fall on us. What Boulder County would like to see is a regional, so it's not just being utilized by Longmont. So it makes sense that Boulder County or even other municipalities could pitch in.
But the site's not big enough for that?
The site, either one, the site would be big enough.
Yeah.
I think Tull property is larger, but we wouldn't use the whole space for composting. We would break up where there would be some water storage. We have to be mindful of that looking forward. Looking long-term, decades from now, and it's like, okay, how can we conserve and save
What are
and
those
store?
properties?
They are on just, I think it's off of 20 and a half, County Road 20 and a half, is that?
Yeah.
I think
Is
that
that right?
sounds right.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's further, it's past Sandstone, so it's
Further
like
east.
southeast of Sandstone Ranch.
gotcha.
Remember all these places and streets and.
I know.
And then all of a sudden it'll just randomly pop in my head. It was like, it was in there.
I can send you all on the city's website. There's a city projects page, and I
Okay.
can send you. It kind of gives you the overview, and it has a Q&A, or I'm sorry, rather FAQ.
Uh-huh.
So I will just send this.
Oh, that
all
would
to
be
you.
great, yeah.
Well, thank you for all the
Yeah.
the amazing work you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is anything, is the sugar mill
So
renovation still?
we are, yes, we are in negotiations with that. There's not a whole lot publicly we can,
Right.
we can share out, but there is work,
It's still
not
going on.
physically being done, but behind the scenes and building contracts, and so that's another big thing that
Yeah, really
we'll be
big.
hearing from in the future. That's exciting.
Okay, good. Right.
Finally do something with that space. And the developer, so back when I had our third graders at Indian Peaks work on the sugar mill redesign a few years back, those kiddos are now starting sixth grade and they keep coming back, like, when are you gonna build there? It's like, we're working on it, calm down.
Accountabilities.
Yeah, that developer, and he's still involved, his whole focus is restoration. So trying to preserve the integrity of the old factory and incorporate that into the new build. So you'll still see some of the bones of the old sugar factory.
Okay,
So that'll
good
be
deal.
interesting.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much, Susie.
Sure.
Any other questions or curiosities for Susie? This is your moment. Ask Susie how things work,
Yeah.
what's happening with prairie dogs, et cetera.
Oh,
Yeah.
You don't have to answer right
Okay,
now.
thank you.
You heard enough about prairie. Okay. All right, administrator report.
my turn. All right. So since we're knocking so many things off our list and we're fully in Q2, I thought that I would do a little show and tell. So first and foremost, maintenance reports next time we're going to do our sign up for our maintenance. So I'm going to send each of you a couple of links. One of them is to the entire collection. One of them is to a map that we have, albeit it's not super duper. And just start thinking about which pieces you would like to sign up for your maintenance reports. I highly encourage you to, of course, you might say, I go to Macintosh every Thursday and I walk, I'll just take all of those. And while that is fantastic, just maybe get outside your bubble a little bit, right? And pick something that maybe you actually have to make a trek to go and see. While it would be wonderful, I would say regularly, monthly-ish or whatnot, I think that that's unrealistic. I would say with this changing of the seasons, when you go from summer and into fall, there's temperature changes, there's all kinds of things that happen in the changing of the seasons that could negatively affect artwork. And so if you can just fill out a report once a quarter, that would be ideal. The form is online. Who thinks that it's easy? Eve?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody think it's easy?
No, it's
Okay.
getting easier now.
Oh,
It's
really
getting
easy.
it's pretty easy. And there's a place for you to upload your images. That's where I was, and I didn't get it. Anyway, I'm going to send those links to you. And I'll tell you that it's really important. And the reason is we've had pieces recently that suddenly change color, and we don't know why, and we have to hold people accountable and like that kind of thing. We have things like Southmore that, you know, has been a functioning water fountain for some time and now is no longer functioning and is missing all of the tiles, and this whirligig that used to whirl in the wind no longer whirls and got tagged. And so August 4th, you went under contract and bid on this last summer. We finalized that contract with the conservator and the city in the winter of last year and got on their schedule. And so August 4th, the work starts on this. So the cracks and right now we have some burlap up because the tagging was so penetrated the stucco so negatively that it's just, there's nothing that I could do. And even the graffiti specialist, even his stuff didn't work very well. So all of those cracks and the stability of this to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere, and then it'll be sealed. The bits that are up here to make these whirligigs whirl again will be fixed, so that will happen. And then all of the tile related to these guys will be fixed, and then we'll work with the Parks Department to turn the fountain back on, so we actually have a functioning water fountain along there. So where is Southmore is if you are at the museum and you're at Quail facing west, you cross over Main Street. Quail turns into Missouri, but it goes along, and the creek is on your right, and there are a number of pieces that are along there, and these are 2 of 5. The other ones are a bat bench. It's kind of shaped like a bat, but it's a bench. Then there's some leaf benches, and then there is the last piece, which is a look and see. The look and see during the flood was completely submerged, and there's organic material that's growing inside of it, as well as residents that are right there. And so philosophically, we have not made a decision of, do we fix it, even though maybe that's a little voyeuristic, invasive of privacy. It's intended to look at nature. The cost to remediate it was exponentially more than these two. So fixing these two, and on we go. So the maintenance reports are super, super, super important because that's how we prioritize. You have an aging collection. Things get broken, they need to be repainted, and we have to decide where do we start. So, and also as I'm trying to point out today, it takes time. So getting them into the queue, getting those dollars encumbered, like those dollars were encumbered last year, they rolled into this year, and they're just getting spent this year. So, it just takes time. So, but this is really exciting. And once this is done, we're gonna just show it off to the world. So, anyway, anybody have questions about maintenance?
I hadn't been reporting on that because I knew
Yes.
I was doing it.
Yep.
So I will start again once.
Yes,
When
absolutely.
it's
If you sign up for that one. If you want to switch them up, if you signed up for things in the past and you're like, I need a new grouping, or maybe this stays on and you get some other ones, yeah, that's great.
I did go by the other day and somebody put out a water bowl next to the fish. I was like, well, at least we have some water.
It
It
happens.
was like on the mouth there, like.
No, it was on the on the ground. But
Like we need
it had
water.
in it. I'm like, all right.
The other thing is I've been working fairly closely with a couple other folks that either work for the city or work for the city adjacent. And I think that it's really fantastic that finally Art in Public Places is being known as the place to come when you have questions about how to do these things and you don't know how to do it. They're coming and asking. So one of the examples is LHA is working with Penrose, the developer, for affordable housing, a 17-unit space with early childhood attached to it at 18th and Hover. And they have a large elevator shaft, 2 stories, that they'd like to do a mural on. And all they're asking for is our expertise and to help guide them through the process. So it's wonderful to see that there are other people within the community that are respecting and appreciating creative placemaking efforts, and they know that that's a part of what we do, and we do it for the city, but it's not our responsibility to do it. We're not the exclusive and only, right? And the other example is, so LDDA and the Creative District, that they're working on 6th and Main, but they also are doing a number of creative placemaking efforts. And I just wanted to point out how these things are different than public art, because they are, right? That you can have barricades that are up for temporary use and purpose and paint them and be really creative so it doesn't look just plain. And while that is artistic, that's not public art, right? And that you have construction fencing, and instead of it looking totally lame, as the Creative District gets their community together and says, hey, we can recycle and upcycle old fabrics and then make this lovely and wonderful display, and it's temporary and it's up for a little while and it makes it look so much better, and then it goes away. This is absolutely a creative enterprise, and it's not public art, right? Snow sculptures, here's an example of public art that we installed, and then the community painting of these boards that took place while they were getting restoration dollars together. The difference here, right? We commission this artist and we pay this artist. We go through an equitable process to choose this artist that is going to be paid and contracted to do a service for a certain amount of time, or something that we purchase. That is the public art path. Versus, and it's not one is better than the other, they're just different. So our friends at the Creative District are doing so much downtown. They're really focused on trying to step up some of the look and feel and the creativity before Sundance gets here. And I've been working fairly closely with Eric because he's saying, I have all of these ideas, I'm working with my board and I'm working with the community, and I don't know how to do it. Angela, how should I do X, Y, and Z? So I'm working with him and helping him, but we're doing that. So the museum is part of the Creative District, and I beg you all, if you have an opportunity and you're bored on a Thursday night and they are having their get-togethers, attend and see, because they're doing really, really cool stuff downtown. And as ambassadors of this program, it is absolutely going to be misconstrued as public art, right? So if it looks great, you're gonna get credit for it. And if it looks bad, they're gonna ask you, why does this look terrible, right? And so it's important that we know the difference between our program and their program and how they work together and also how they're separate. So you'll see a lot of this coming about. And Eric and I sat for a really long time. Again, he's a very creative human, and it's mostly coming from him and working with the community to create rather than going through a process to find an artist and then hiring the artist to create. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. So there's that.
I had a question.
Oh yeah, anything, of course.
So that big mural at 9th and Main, Lou.
Oh, the Cardenas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that a partnership with AIPP, or did they just do that on their own?
That was the developer. So the developer out of Boulder, when they went through the planning process, planning said, when you choose a building like this, you cannot have a giant piece of concrete. Something has to happen. And the developer has a variety of solutions, and one of them was a mural. And so she herself engaged a local artist, and that artist actually has pieces in our collection. He's, but she commissioned him independently, purchased that. I hope purchased that, but they work together. But yeah, but that's a good question because same kind of thing, right? So the murals around town, some of them we own, some of them we don't. If it is on a city-owned building, we definitely own it.
Yeah.
If it's not, we can create easement agreements to do something with a privately owned institution or a organization space. But the firehouse, I would say, would be the other organization that's doing more of the grassroots, working with businesses and the local community and doing a lot of that kind of like downtown mural network. Good question. Same thing holds true though. Like when they look bad, the first people they're going to come to is be like, there are things in the city and it looks bad and it's public art. What are you doing about that? So
I get asked about the Lou one a fair amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how many people have asked me about it. Is that part of it?
Visit Longmont had a
I think it's Cardenas. It's on
had a mural like.
I think they still
Do they still have
I think
it?
so, yeah.
It's like a mural, a Longmont mural tour.
They've been doing it on their social media, like Mural Mondays too, recently.
Yeah. Which one? This one?
Yeah.
It's
In
right by
the-
the firehouse.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they've done a pretty good job in grabbing. Like this one is ours. This one we worked on, but
Oh,
it
that
does
was
not
kind of-
belong to
Yeah,
us.
that's that building.
That's privately owned by his family.
Right.
This is ours, obviously, but
Right.
that's, so example of an easement agreement, we have an easement agreement with the Boulder Housing Authority for that, so that's how we got permission for that. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of them. This is ours, that's an easement agreement with that building owner.
Unknown so prominently.
Yeah.
What is the unknown portion?
Artist?
He didn't title it. Oh, you know what though? That's wrong.
Because they all, like, there's so many, most of these they're saying unknown, unknown.
Yeah.
unknown.
Yeah.
Even, like that one is different,
Yeah.
sure. Okay, there's title artist. But then,
Hey, does
Maybe they
anybody
forgot
want to
to
volunteer
raise
to contact to go through this and find, like this is Blossom, and update our collection with Visit?
yeah, I can.
All right, if not, Britt's doing it. Yeah, if you just want to go, if you want to just look through it and find which, like, oh, look, Val,
Oh my
last
God.
name's wrong. Oh, man.
I'll talk to Eric.
It's a good
He talks
attempt.
to me about our things,
Where
so.
is that thing? That,
That's
oh,
not even
the
a
Elks
mural.
in
The
the
19th and,
Yeah.
Alpine
Come
Course.
on.
I know, it's so familiar to me, I couldn't place it all of a sudden. When we moved out of that neighborhood.
Oh.
So I've lost my.
Well, I
train
mean,
of
it's
thought.
a good attempt or
But I do
something.
like
You were in the middle of
piece.
complimenting them as I was like,
Is that his name, Pat McKinn? That's
No.
not
No.
right. That's not even his
No,
name.
no.
That's not even the artist's name.
yeah, well,
I
yeah,
don't
we
think
should,
that was right.
that should be fixed.
So yeah, so maybe we'll just help our friends. Be
Good
like,
job.
hey, this is a really good idea, and
Yeah. Let's just make it better.
just help you. But hey, to their credit, you know,
Somebody did it.
our artwork across Longmont is also a scroll for days, and we're trying to get that fixed. But we don't have anything that's much better. But it is at least accurate.
Who put that together?
Visit
Oh.
Longmont.
Oh. Okay.
So
I
okay.
love that one.
And Angela, you were also, I feel like, when you defined like
Oh,
what
yeah.
public art
My
is,
kid
I
asked
get
me
that.
about that.
We all
Reading
know
it.
that process, but then what else would you say just makes something feel just like it's a creative project? And as far as qualifiers, and I know you were like, it's an
Yeah.
equitable process, and of course, like, sometimes it's just, okay, some volunteers are gonna put up some fabric on a
Sure.
fence, and you could call that more, need-based or haphazard, or I don't know.
No,
what words to
I
use.
don't. So for me, I'm putting my city employee hat on. Okay. So public art is defined in our code, and a big portion of that
Yeah.
is the hiring of an artist, and that the artist is creating a piece of art that has a location and whatever. It may be that it's ephemeral. It may have
Sure.
just a certain amount of time, but it's by the process of us going through and purchasing a piece by an artist. So there's the three ways we can do that. The direct purchase, we can do an RFP, which is a request for proposals, or the way we actually do it, which is a request for qualifications. Get the qualified artist bank, and then narrow it down to the pieces of artwork. What it isn't is us sitting around. You know what would be really cool? Is if we painted a bunch of rocks and we went out to the park and we threw them down and like we make this public artwork, and in this vacuum we create and we spend money, we use city dollars and
Right,
spend money
right.
to do that.
Right.
That is not, according to the city code, that is not what public art is, right? So this commission and our purpose is not that. And so then the qualifier, as on the opposite, may be a creative or artistic enterprise in public space, but according to our code, it's not public art. Does that make sense
Yep.
for everybody? Okay. And so for our friends who are, really looking at these opportunities to, one of them I think I can share is that the Creative District and downtown is responsible for doing trash enclosures. They can't have big ugly trash things out, and so they have to enclose them. And you can just like purchase one online or at Home Depot, or you could build one, or you could make it look better, and so you could commission a public art piece for that, or you yourself and your board and your community could do something about it.
Sure.
And that would be that distinctive difference. Does that make sense? So yeah, I think that people call things different things in different times. For us and for this board, we always look back to our code, our guidelines, policies, and procedures, and that is the definition. Take off that hat.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah, it's cool and it's fun. Okay, I'm gonna keep cooking unless anybody has questions. And where I'm at okay, so I thought now is a really good time to talk about where we are and the rest of the year. So the way that I budget and the way that we kind of go about this Art in Public Places is through two different things, programs and projects. So a program would be something in the budget that doesn't end up with an asset, something that's insured at the end of the day. Examples for that is Shock Art, History Under Wraps, that Lanyon Park project that we're going to do, Art on the Move, 2D, that's our loan program. Those are programs that we spend dollars on, but it doesn't end up with a commissioned artwork at the end. And so at present, we're working on and cooking on these three. Art on the Move is going to move to the fall because of capacity. So those things are underway. And then in our current projects, we've completed Clover Meadows. That is done and over. The Fox Meadows is done and over. Altarpiece is done and over. So the next three that are in our queue is the Shady Bus Stop, which we're partnering with Sustainability on that one. The commission is going to serve as the selection panel for that. It's going to work kind of similarly to Art on the Move. And then our two queued big projects are going to be the Longmont Museum and the Hotel Garage mural. Executive team, which is new, of course, is going to meet here, and we've got to meet next month. Start looking at the budget that hopefully will be passed in August, and then look at all of our opportunities that different people from the city have said that they would like to endeavor. And we have a list. We always have a list of lots of projects. We just simply cannot do all of the things. So they'll go through those, and then we'll prioritize and knock those out. So, Shady Bus.
Can I ask you
anything.
question about Shady Bus?
Yeah, Shady Bus.
So, Iris and I were just talking about, is Shady Bus different than the Extreme Heat?
That's the same, yes. I need to come up with just a doggone name for it. It's going to be a bus stop, and it's addressing extreme heat,
because
yes.
neither one of us has heard anything yet. I mean, we were just saying,
Sure.
I haven't heard. And so...
So sustainability has some dollars that were granted to address extreme heat, and it specifically has to be related to shade. Mm-hmm. And so the team has been talking for a very long time, and at the end of the day, there is a bus stop here at 3rd and Martin that there's a giant piece of asphalt, and it gets really hot, and that's a local free bus. That we're going to start with that one. Mm-hmm. The big bad grand idea is that, you know, we have artistic bus stops, and they're like all over town, and they're all artistic, you know, and then we can educate people about the opportunities that we have for cooling solutions through the city of Longmont. So yes, it starts with addressing extreme heat, and then what we came out of that project is a Shady Bus Stop. So
it's the same thing.
It is the same thing. We have been currently granted $15,000 plus the AIPP matching contribution for the project, and then we'll install it. So you again are the selection panel, and then the installation will be spring, summer, depending on fabrication next year. So the opportunity is to really educate communities about extreme heat and the city resources that they can find related to extreme heat, and utilizing public art to assist in messaging to our community about the great things we do, as well as making cool stuff, right? Like, because we can make cool stuff, or we can make cool stuff and help the public learn a little bit more, right?
So those are examples?
These are just examples that I pulled from, there's a place in Georgia that has like this program.
Okay.
Not extreme heat related, but art bus stops.
Okay.
And these are ones that they've done.
Aren't they cute?
Yeah.
This one, I mean, my gosh, I just want to rip it off. But yeah.
We're going to have to do an I'm a Bus Stop campaign.
I'm a bus stop. Yep, it's kind of like our bike racks, right? We have artistic bike racks, and nobody knows their bike racks.
Right, good point. So, I'm sorry, I'm just...
No, please, by all means, that's what we're doing.
Selection panel be AIPP commission.
You.
So have things changed, or is that us? Like,
No,
is it
that's-
the whole, it's the
all
whole
of
group?
us.
You're the task force, and you're the selection panel.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And so are the two of us working with the sustainability partnership or not really?
You will be that,
At
so
some
when
point.
we sit in meetings with the sustainability folks, you'll be the representatives
Okay.
on
Do
behalf
we
of
have
Art
any
Public Places.
More information on
That's
time
why I
frame?
asked for everybody's availability
Okay,
for the next 2 quarters, so when I'm planning meetings,
okay.
I know when I can get you. So
Okay. Got it. So that's just up, it's to be determined, basically.
on the
When-
dates,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
times and dates and all that. Okay, because I
We're
seemed like
gonna-
it was gonna happen sooner.
I know.
It's been a couple of
well,
months.
so I promised Eric that we were going to get things off our docket before we started new stuff. So while our call for artists can be out there in the world and we can be soliciting artists, I'm not starting new meetings until other ones
Okay.
are done.
What about the flowers around another task force that I'm on? That was,
That would be the
Roosevelt.
senior center of
Yeah.
Roosevelt Park, and the preferred concept came to that group, but it's only the senior center agility, I'm using the wrong words, exercise
Okay.
things,
okay,
and the playground,
right,
and then the art and public places landscaping will be
right.
whatever dollars are kind of left.
And that's just, we're waiting to hear about that too.
They're supposed to be under construction and done by fall, so
Okay,
as soon as I know, I'll know. And it'll probably be, you'll see some pictures and say, what are your comments?
all right.
Okay, good questions. So Shady Bus Stop's Extreme Heat Project, feel good about it?
Yep.
Okay.
Shady arts.
I know. The Longmont Hotel garage, so it's definitely the west wall and possibly the north of the garage. This is not the garage, this is the hotel rendering. And that again is LDDA funded up to $150,000 and the developer is gonna be priming it. But because the garage is owned by the city, it has to go through us, so it will be a part of our collection. The call will be, oh, that's not correct.
That's nice.
The
Winter,
winter
summer.
needs
Winter,
to go
summer.
away. Summer of 25, and then I don't know what their current construction timeline is, but I understand that they're supposed to have it done by winter. So if that goes up, if they have it constructed and it can go on in the fall, great. If they need to wait until spring, so be it. But I think the turnaround time on murals is easy because there's no fabrication, right? It's not like sculpture. It'll be great because we'll be able to use it for marketing for the Longmont identity. There'll be 2 possible views, and again, it's funded, so not by us, which is great. And then these, I tried to do like highlighting, but I was unsuccessful. So this is looking from the alley. So you would never get this view, right? Because there's buildings here. But you will be like a little person and you'll be able to look up kind of this way. So it's this piece of concrete and this big, long,
thing?
skinny thing, all that. So it'll be a really interesting mural. It'll have to be the right design. And then the north side will be this like kind of square bits. But this is required. This is not necessarily required.
Do they conjoin at any point or no?
The-
This one at the bottom, does that join up to the other or no?
You know what? I am not sure if I don't know. So that's a good question, but it will be the same artist for sure. We're not going to do 2 different projects.
Okay. Right.
Good question. I should ask.
And this is gonna be with full selection panel, community
Yes.
members and everything?
Yes.
Full-on selection panel process?
Yes. Okay.
It's
Well,
starting
there's-
to look like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it last
Coming
night.
The
along.
garage.
the hotel.
The hotel.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right there, yeah,
Right.
you can look out the window and see it.
I'm parked right there.
Okay, and then the Longmont Museum, which is under construction, so that's a good thing. So the west-facing exterior of the building, obviously, this is the new rendering. So this is the new expansion, goes out from here, right? This is the courtyard. The stage is about here, And so the piece will be on this is not happening, that white box, that's not real. So the piece will be like along this
Wow.
little bit here, if that makes sense. So from the courtyard, you'll be able to see it, but also from Quail, or rather from Maine, and actually from Quail too. So it'll kind of have that sort of view. Last I looked, the CIP estimates that it'll be between a 80 and 100,000 contribution. So I think $100,000 project probably makes good sense. And we knock some of these things out. That call for entry is going out. And then installation in an ideal world, that should be backwards. Spring, summer of 26. But if the museum opens in the fall, then we'll want it before then. And luckily, it installs on existing building, so we're not beholden to contract construction timelines for that installation. So that's exciting. Highly visible. Possibility of being lit, which would be smart. That all just depends on dollars, obviously. There will probably be significant community feedback events on this one.
What do you mean by suspended sculpture possibilities?
So the atrium is 3 stories, and there's nothing in there. We've identified that addressing the outside is best, but you could conceivably do suspended sculpture indoor, as long as it's in public space and it's free to the public. It's possible.
So it's 2 different things we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's
potentially then.
it's the opportunities are
I see.
playing with light. You could play with suspension, but a highly visible, that there were indoor and outdoor location possibilities. Some of the comments that had come in originally were addressing this side, but by the time someone gets over to this northeast side, you already know you're at the museum, versus this corner where this architecture and the rec center architecture are very similar.
Yeah, people don't know.
They don't know the difference.
Really?
So if there's artistic bits, and I don't know, is anybody in town when, this was before my time, but they had a graffiti show and Gamma did a thing on the outside of the museum.
Yes, it was amazing.
I don't have that picture, but anyway, apparently there was like a temporary mural that went on the outside of the building, and everybody was like, where did it go and why is it gone? And so leadership has said, like, why don't you bring something like that back? Which makes sense, but we'll want it to be permanent and hold up for a long time.
Is Gamma out of our price range these days?
What's that?
Is Gamma out of our price range these days? No,
He's in there. Yeah. I don't know. He does figurative work. Like, has anybody seen him do anything other than figurative? It's mostly figurative. So I don't know that long and skinny is best for him, but a two floor elevator shaft, like our LHA partners, would be silly, not be silly. It would be wise to consider looking at him.
Is that the one for Ascent, the elevator shaft? Okay.
Oh, Ascent, that's the name of the building.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so they're asking for some help. So there's kind of like the view, you'll be able to see it because it'll be on that side of the building. And again, the shop addition is not happening, so it's here. All right, maintenance we already talked about. That's my report. I tried to put like a bunch of images together and kind of give you a holistic view of where we are after Q2.
That's great.
I know we're not as far along as, right?
Yeah, you really are.
We're not as far as I think like to be, but we're still knocking everything off the list, so good.
I think we're doing pretty good.
I'm okay. I feel good about it, but does anybody have questions, concerns?
I feel like I could see a good amount of community feedback about the Hotel Longmont mural. I mean, you know, in my experience, there's been a fair amount of like, why are they doing that here in Longmont? What's Longmont becoming? That
Yeah.
feeling of just opinion, and that the hotel signifies, I think, I mean, this is real, I think, another step in the city's like evolution.
Yeah.
And I guess I think this is not news to anyone, but what I wonder is if we are thinking of in our call, like having any kind of messaging or intention behind what kind of mural we might be looking for, from a thematic standpoint.
We definitely should sit down before it's out, but I also think, to your point, maybe when we do get down to a short list, we need to do some dot matrix community or even online community polling too. Yeah. Personally, I think that geometry and color is the way to go. Because if we look at what we did on the side of the garage, we went figurative, but the line of sight is so poor that on paper it looks great. Right, on paper it looks fantastic and there's no buildings right in front of it, but I think we learned that when you're looking at that mural, you're looking at it like this, or from very far away.
It's still awesome.
It's still
It's
still awesome, so I think something, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, maybe that's something that the task force really needs to sit and digest and come up with a preferred approach, maybe. Okay. So community polling, dot matrix, and / online for the short list, and then preferred concept in call. Does that sound right?
Yes.
All right. If anybody has, and as you think about this, too, if you have any aha moments that you want to send me or share with the group, please just email me, because I can always send it out to everyone, and we can have an email back and forth. It just has to go through Blind CC, right? So this big long one, which can't really go down there right now because it's under construction, but anyway, just walk in between any of our alleyways and think about that line of sight.
And that strip against Third is running parallel with Third?
Is running parallel, this strip is running parallel to Kimbark.
Kimbark, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that more south. Okay,
Third
gotcha.
is over here. The Indian restaurant, Manna,
So it's-
is right here. So it's gonna be, if you're looking at the Indian restaurant, is it Thai? Thai. If you're looking at the Thai restaurant,
Yeah.
it's
Go in the alley.
in the alley to the right of it, and it'll be up to your right.
Yeah.
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 Sure.
Another weird space.
Yes.
It is weird space. It's totally weird space. All right.
But we are determined to put art everywhere.
Yes.
Now you can do something with it. Yeah, sure.
It's a lot of, it's a lot of concrete. Square footage wise, it's a lot of concrete. It's just long and skinny, right? All right, that's what I got.
Okay, great.
Anything else?
I have a quick question.
Anything.
It could go into commissioner comments too, but,
Okay.
so as you know, I like to, in my group, I like to announce stuff going on.
Yeah.
Can I talk about any of these things tomorrow in my group, or?
Oh, I thought you meant in this group.
No, not this group.
Yeah,
Another group.
of course, 100%. I mean,
Cool.
these are projects that are slated and budgeted in the 2025. This is an open meeting. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. You and I haven't had orientation yet. Beware of conflict of interest, right? So if you were to sit on a selection panel for any project and you're inviting an artist or artist friend to just for everyone, for not just for one person,
I don't think there's artists.
you know, you want to think about it that way. But yeah, just sharing as information sharing,
Just
absolutely. Yeah, for all our projects. Good question. Good? Okay, was that helpful?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Very excellent. Thank you, Angela.
Yes.
So, next is commissioner comments, and just, I wanted to say a few things first. I think, every once in a while Angela will send out an invitation for us to attend some kind of related meeting or represent AIPP or maybe just ourselves something or go see what's happening. These things are all really useful, so I encourage you all to take advantage. I did go to the LDDA reception thing that happened a couple months ago that was right before our meeting. And Eric was talking about all his ideas for murals in downtown and all different kinds of things. And he was talking about how Sundance is coming here, and they're looking forward to that, and we all are.
LDDA Eric, not Eric Mason, Director
Right,
of
LDDA
Museum.
Eric.
Just to clarify.
And what's his last name?
It's something
Yes.
Rosa.
No,
Kaczynski.
Kaczynski. I do not pronounce it correctly. So.
When is Sundance?
2027.
July
Oh, okay.
of
July.
or no, January of
January.
2027.
Yeah, it's always in January. Yeah. Okay, and related to this, the museum is having their groundbreaking for the expansion galleries, and that's next Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to go or not, but if you want to do that kind of thing, it's always good to be, because the museum is part of us and we're part of them. We're, obviously we have some other assignments too in another role, but our staff, it works for and at the museum, and I think that they count their volunteer hours as part of our volunteer hours are counted as part of theirs. We have symbiotic relationship with the museum. So that is coming up next week, and that was listed in the email that came from the museum for all the different things going on right now, which I think it goes to members, but that's where I learned about it.
Yeah, and I can send that too. I already have one I need to send you. I can send you all of these dates because there's a lot of them actually.
Okay, so soon, as you can see from Angela's report, we're going to be ramping up on selection panels. And with selection panels coming up, we'll have community members involved, and we'll also be involved in them. Not every single one of us will sit on these formal selection panels, but we will be involved, and there's other opportunities. So it's real fun to come to selection panels because not only do we get to participate and see what goes on and see the discussion and all that kind of stuff, but also everyone's opinion is heard. So if you feel like you have an opinion on something, even if you're not on the panel, you get to voice it, which I think is really part of the fun.
That's fun.
So please look forward to selection panel, either participating or volunteering or doing something with it or sitting in the back row or picking up ballots and handing them around. I've done all these different roles and they're all fun. Okay.
The dates that are coming up so next Wednesday the 23rd at 8:30 in the morning. Then you're going to get information about August 9th. That's Saturday, so if you can put that on your calendars. Saturday, September 7th is the sunset soiree at the museum. It is a fundraiser, and some of you went last year. It was super fun.
It's really fun.
If you wanted and you had enough folks to be sitting together or do a table, let me know, because I'm sure that they would be thrilled. And then, of course, the Saturday following that is Art Walk, and Longmont Arts Week is going to be along that week. So there's a lot going on.
A lot going on
in September related to art and culture, obviously.
And even if we don't, well, at least this was true last year. Even if we don't have a full table, Angela can still arrange for us to sit together, which is really fun.
Yeah.
So it's really worth going to. And it is a fundraiser, but it's very generous to the participants' fundraiser, which includes dinner and drinks and entertainment and everything. And that's on September 7th.
No, September 7th, and then
Saturday
next
evening.
week.
Saturday
Yes.
evening. Okay, this is your big chance to get dressed up in Longmont.
Is it Saturday the 6th or is it?
I think it's Friday the 5th. Isn't that what the?
No, it's on a Saturday.
No, it's
Okay.
definitely Saturday.
Because the 7th is Sunday, so.
Oh,
Okay,
well
so
then
it's
it's,
September
oh,
6th.
Yeah, I was
What,
like,
is that
it's-
right?
I think I saw, that's what I read from the note.
did I put the 7th, not the
It's the
6th?
7th on here, but I was looking on my calendar and I
You
thought it
said
was the 7th.
7th. When
You're
does that
right, it
fall?
is. It's Saturday the 6th.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Oh
catching
my
this.
gosh, I would lose a friend.
Yeah, we all gotta go.
She would be really, yes, the 6th.
That makes a lot more sense. I was thinking on a
Yes.
Sunday evening.
Yeah, right.
And then what, are the tickets like $100?
Yeah.
They're $100.
$100
Yeah,
a person,
yeah.
yeah, $100 a person.
Has the registration opened yet?
I have not seen it, but I have seen that it,
I think it has.
I think it has.
well, you guys get the, clearly I'm not on the museum's
Well, just a
list.
minute.
I guess I haven't gotten it.
Even
There
I.
is a city page that says second annual Sunset Soiree, Friday, September 5th, from 6 to 9.
No way. Okay, hold on.
That is what I see.
Okay, well, you guys can all adjourn, but
Sorry,
I'm
they're-
sending a
okay.
text right
Okay.
Their
now.
old
All right,
page was.
okay, while we're figuring this out, okay, a couple of announcements from me, okay? A couple of announcements from me. I am going to be leading a dyeing yarn workshop on July 26th at the Longmont Yarn Shop. This is an annual event that I do every year. There's 3 separate sessions, so you get to dye 2 skeins of yarn. So please look on the Longmont Yarn Shop website and sign up for that. It's really, really, really fun, and you get 2 skeins of yarn dyed to the colors of your choice,
Very
guided
cool.
by me and my darling associate. And also, I will be also during Art Walk. I will be doing my annual gig of judging the fastest knitter and fastest crocheter contest. Yeah, I've done it every year as
She was
long
like
as I've been in
this.
town. I've done it. Super fun, and we have the whole thing, and it's actually my stand-up gig every year because while everyone knits and crochets as best they can go, I tell jokes and stories. And it's hilarious. Okay, so those are announcements from me. Okay, any other commissioner comments or announcements?
So Angela just to throw another date in the
Yep.
mix.
Oh, please.
According to the website for the Downtown Longmont Creative District, our soiree is on September 7th.
Yes, see,
Saturday,
it's
September
wrong
7th.
everywhere.
That was
Okay.
Isn't it the 7th?
That doesn't make me feel so bad.
Or on the
Oh,
website
that's
or
right.
something.
But I think it's,
Never
I
mind,
think Michelle's right.
That
I
was
think it's
24. That was
This one,
2020.
2025, it does say
Friday
Friday,
the 5th.
September 5th.
Okay.
I was
I'm
at
clarifying,
Friday,
but I think Michelle's right. So let's go with that.
Friday.
The 5th.
Okay, so just
Friday,
mark that
the
whole
5th.
weekend off for
Every single day.
We're just
Yes, because it's gonna take you the whole weekend to get your outfit planned and all that kind of
That's
stuff.
true.
too, so.
No, I
It
think
usually
that that's
takes
right.
me a while.
I
to
don't know,
get
they're
all that
mailing
done.
everything like tomorrow. All
Yeah,
those
I've
flyers
seen
are
it.
going out
Of course, I
tomorrow.
looked at. I know what it looks like. You asked me the date. I can't tell.
Well, I don't know, I haven't.
Thank you for
we'll have to
I feel like
see.
I've seen the 7th a lot.
I know.
Does it take
Okay.
us-
Well, anyway, Friday the 5th, unless you hear.
I don't know why they would do
But I will
it on
send this out.
Friday, though.
Yeah, each one.
Yeah,
That
why?
makes sense to me.
Will
It
it
doesn't-
not be at the museum or will
It
it
is
be
at-
there?
It is
will
at
be
the
there.
museum.
Okay.
It's in the courtyard and the atrium.
Okay.
So there will be,
Mhm.
the construction residual.
And you said the food was good last year.
Food was good.
Oh, yeah, the food is
Okay.
good.
Even
Yeah.
the only thing that wasn't as great, the vegetarian dish was not as great as everything else.
Mhm.
And they serve it. You don't have to go to a buffet line.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
they didn't
Always like
serve.
that.
Yeah. Having done a bunch of these events, I can tell you that's a lot. Okay. Any other commissioner comments or announcements? Really? Okay. All right. Does everyone feel like they've got their full and they're clear about what we're going to be doing this next couple months? All right.
Okay, you
Thank
need to
you.
ask for a motion to
Yes.
adjourn.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. It's
Okay.
7:45 p.m.
Second.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All in favor of adjourn?
No,
Okay.
I want to stay
I
longer.
know.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes. All right. Thank you,
If I
everyone.
can